Hi, everyone. This is Dr. LaTowsky. Can you guys hear me? Is anyone there? Yes. All right. I have confirmation you can hear me. Yes. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Happy summer solstice. It's the longest day of the year, but as one of my patients said earlier, hopefully not the hottest day of the year. So I thought that was so cute. So happy Wednesday or happy Tuesday, everyone. Happy summer solstice. We're going to talk about cellulite today. So does this sound familiar to any of you? No matter how much I exercise, my stubborn cellulite will not go away. Does that sound familiar? Is anyone else struggling with this besides me? So I often get asked in treatment, do you have any treatment, or often get asked in clinic, do you have any treatments that can help without surgery? Because who wants to undergo surgery for cellulite? Not many of us, myself included. So as you know, I am very passionate about cutting edge technology and research in dermatology, all dermatology, not only cosmetic dermatology. And I continually strive to make innovative technologies available to my patients as long as it's effective and it's safe. So those are things that are very important to me. And cellulite treatment is one of the areas where I can implement these new treatments that I think are safe and very effective and minimally invasive. So I am going to announce this raffle that we are doing. Thank you all for being here. And as a gift for your attendance, we will automatically enter you into a raffle and you'll get these amazing products. I love these products. We have the enhanced post-injection serum. It reduces, or we think anyway, it reduces bruising. We have an amazing gentle cleanser. And we have a body treatment, which will speed up the results and enhance the results from any treatments that you do on your body, whether it's cellulite or fat reduction by cool sculpting. So the treatments I'm going to talk to you about are non-surgical, and they are minimally invasive, meaning I have one that's completely non-invasive, not even a needle, and the rest are just minimally invasive, just injections, basically. So what is cellulite? Cellulite is a condition that causes lumpy, dimpled flesh, and it most commonly occurs on the thighs, hips, buttocks. It can occur on the abdomen. And it looks like cottage cheese or orange peely, and there's a number of different analogies out there for it, but we don't like it. Our genetics play a role, probably hormones play a role because men don't tend to get this as much as women, and then our body anatomy plays a role. So most people feel like it looks worse in certain areas and looks worse after we've gained weight. So here's a little cartoon of the skin, a cross section of the skin. You can see where there's a dimple. There's these little bands pulling down on the skin. So underneath the skin, there's what we call fibrous bands. And most of the current technology that we have right now are focused on treating these fibrous bands underneath the skin. So what we try to do is figure out how can we disrupt these fibrous bands. And if you imagine just taking a little scissors to cut that band that's pulling down and creating the cellulite dimple, the band releases and the skin theoretically smooths out. It's not as easy as that, but that's a very simplified version of what we want to do. And so the question becomes, what's the most effective, easiest, and safest way to do this and still get great results? Also, over time, our skin thins and our fat cells change over time. So while we can see cellulite while we're in our 20s or even teens sometimes, it does appear to us to get worse over time. So these are the innovative treatments I'm going to talk to you about today to treat cellulite. I'm going to start with this Resonic device. So this is what the device looks like. You can see the black box. In that black box, there's sound waves that are generated, and the sound waves are very loud and very fast. And they travel through that metal tube that you see into that handpiece that looks like a microphone. And that handpiece is held over the dimples, and the sound waves go through the skin, and the sound waves actually shear or cut that fibrous band, all while doing this non-invasively. So there's no injections in the skin. The skin is not broken at all. The skin is not compromised. So there's no downtime associated with this treatment, and there's no restrictions. So you could go swimming right away afterwards. You could go work out right away afterwards. It's a really, really cool device. Including a lot of that is because of the fact it is non-invasive. This is relatively new. We did the clinical trials we were part of the clinical trials for the company. So we've had this device around for years, but it was actually FDA cleared in 2021, so last year. And there are only 18 devices released thus far. And we have one of them, which is really exciting. And we've been using it since last year in the clinic. So I talked a little bit about the science. Also, one thing that happens when the sound waves go through the skin is it also stimulates what are called fibroblasts. And those are little cells in the skin that stimulate your collagen. So not only does it help the skin texture, meaning the dimples, but it also can help tighten the skin because the waves stimulate the cells that make collagen. So the treatment takes about an hour, and we can treat 15 dimples per side. Now, when we're treating, the sound waves are obviously not just going to the one dimple. So it's kind of a global treatment, but it's also focal because we're focusing on those 15 areas per side that really bother the patient. And we do see skin tightening with this. One thing, the studies were done and the results were statistically significant, and the FDA approval was based on one treatment. So we do know we see results after one treatment. However, I usually recommend at least 2 treatments. I just want to put that out there. I just usually recommend, I've seen the best results with at least 2 treatments. All right, so we'll move on to the next technology. This is called Quo, and this is a liquid. It's an enzyme called collagenase that's injected, and the enzyme breaks down those little bands. So remember when I told you to envision scissors cutting those bands? This is an enzyme that actually breaks down the band and does so without any mechanical force, and it's a very quick and easy injection. The time to do this treatment is probably about 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. So, okay, so we've seen this picture before. I talked about the enzyme. I talked about this. Now, here's what to know about Quo. Here's the down and dirty. You will get bruising. You will get bruising on the treated area that will look as dark as an eggplant, and that will take a couple weeks to go away. So usually we do this treatment when patients can cover up the area. And also, I tend to do this treatment on lighter skin types. I don't tend to do this on darker skin types because there is a risk of staining with the treatments. So again, I can give you advice during treatment as to which of these would work the best for you. As mentioned before, and thank you, Joan, for this question. The Resonic, we can get skin tightening, and thus the crepey skin can be improved with the Resonic. And also, Quo, there's a lot of inflammation that occurs when the bruising has happened, and so we can get skin tightening because of all that inflammation with the Quo. Finally, Sculptra and Radiesse. These are 2 injections. And these are injections that will stimulate your collagen. So in my opinion, if someone has mostly crepey skin, and this is what I can help you with in the consult, how much of this is cellulite and how much of this is crepey skin? Usually there's a mixture of the two, but we need to weigh how much is on how much so we can see how best to treat you. So these 2 can really help with crepey skin. They can help lift the skin and they can help smooth out the cellulite. So these injections take time to see the results because they're stimulating your collagen. The Radiesse you can see the results usually within the first month, and then the results improve over time. The Sculptra takes 3 to 6 months to see, and then the results will last longer. So you wait a little longer, but then the results last longer. Here's a Sculptra. We inject it, so there might be bruising, nothing major. Usually I'm doing 3 series or 3 sessions, 6 weeks apart. The results are visible in 3 to 6 months. This can last a long time. And then here's Radiesse. So Radiesse is both a filler and a biostimulator. So that means it fills, it also stimulates your collagen. You see the results sooner, but it doesn't focus on stimulating the collagen. So you can see the results don't last quite as long, but we still get a good duration. So usually what I do with these is I do more treatments in the beginning to build your foundation. And then we might do once a year maintenance where we're not doing as much, but we're keeping everything up. So it's an easier treatment, but we're maintaining your results. I have a question. Does it matter how old a person is to get results? So the answer to that is yes. Age, skin type, how the skin is aged really makes a difference. So we call that skin laxity and skin quality. But for most patients, I can get a result you're happy with. We just have to have realistic expectations. For instance, I have a gentleman who is in his 80s that I've treated. He is thrilled with his results. And for him, we're treating more crepey skin, not cellulite. We're treating the tricep area. So we can get a result for you at any age. We just have to realize that the older you get, the harder it is to get towards, that 20-year-old skin. Okay, so here, relating to that question again, sagging, crepey skin. So these products really shine when it comes to crepey skin. Okay, here's some pictures so you can see kind of what to expect. This goes back to the first treatment, the Resonic. Excuse me, can I have that water? So the Resonic is this is, I believe, after 1 treatment. And remember, it's completely non-invasive. So we see that it's not completely gone, but this is after 1 treatment. So easy for you as a patient. You simply have to relax and lay on the chair for an hour, and we do all the rest, and your body does all the rest. So super cool. Here's another treatment of a single treatment of Resonic. We get better results if we did more, but look at that nice result. And do you see any immediate results? With Resonic, usually not. Usually it takes a couple months because the skin remodels and it stimulates your collagen. So that takes a little time to see. So this patient is in her 50s and she had a single treatment of the Resonic. And you can see even at 7 weeks post, she has some nice smoothing of her skin. Now, the next steps for me would be to add some Sculptra into her buttocks to smooth out the buttocks and give them a little lift and maybe even a little bit more volume. So you can mix and match these treatments. And I usually recommend that. Same patient, other side, nice smoothing. Now I want to inject some Sculptra to give her a little lift. Here's a young patient, 31, one treatment of Resonic. This is just 7 weeks after. We'd expect her to get better and better treatment or better and better results up to the 6-month mark. Here's a patient who's had Quo. So before and after, 3 months after, we subsequently, I believe, went on to inject this patient with Sculptra, give her some more smoothing and some more lift. Here's another subject with Quo. So you can see a nice smoothing. And another subject with Quo. Really nice smoothing after 2.5 months. Here's another example of the smoothing of the skin. You can see the dimples are improved, but also the skin texture. And same thing here. Here's an example of Sculptra, how it can reshape the buttocks a bit, and it can also lift. So notice the nice lift that this patient has achieved. And it's hard to see from this picture, but she also had some very mild cellulite changes, which have improved. Okay, so you can do these treatments on other body parts besides just the buttocks and the thighs. So I commonly treat thighs, tricep areas, chest, neck. And the neck, of course, for skin tightening and skin laxity. So Karen, I am so glad you asked the question, what is the best treatment for thighs? Because that's actually going to be our model today. We're going to treat thighs. And here I am getting my thighs injected by Dr. Pearson. Now this, I'd have to check on the exact date of this, but this has been, what, like 3 or 4 years ago? This is 3 years ago, you guys. And I was in a state where I was ready to say, I'm not going to wear shorts anymore. And that was about when I turned 40. I was very self-conscious, not wanting to wear shorts, getting wrinkling above my knees. And so what I did is I did a cool sculpting treatment to either side of my knees because I also had some fat pockets there. And then Dr. Pearson injected some Radiesse and Sculptra into the area above my knees, so my thighs. And that's what we're going to do today. And I will tell you, this sounds so silly, but it was life-changing for me. I am wearing shorts right now. And this was 3 years ago. I said I would never wear shorts again, but I still have great results. And I have only done like a very, very mild touch-up since then, 3 years ago. Okay, so here are your specials for attending this webinar. If you guys are interested in treating your cellulite, here's your offer here's your gift for attending. So the Quo, that's the injection where you get the bruising, but as a patient, it's so quick and easy. We can have you in and out of here in no time. So if you purchase 2 treatments, you get the 3rd one for free. For the Resonic, purchase 1 treatment and get the next one half off. That's a huge value. We want to do that for you because I'm really seeing amazing treatments after 2 treatments. And I don't think we had any of those photos in this presentation, but we have some in your consultation. We can show you some before and afters of patients who have had 2 treatments and the results are even better. For Sculptra, this is a product that we very rarely discount. And we really want you to have the funds to do this treatment on your body. The body surface areas are a little bit larger, of course, than the face. So it usually does require more product. So I'm going to say, we're going to say purchase 2 vials and save $200 on 2 vials. So if you're treating the area above your knees, what I do is do 1 vial per side and probably do that, for someone who's 45 or older, I do that 3 times. Someone who's under 45, maybe just 2 times. And then once a year maintenance with just 1 vial. So that's just an example. I will need to see you in person, but just so you know the kind of treatment that you're looking at. Same thing for buttocks. If you want to smooth your buttocks, I do 1 vial per side and maybe we do a couple sessions and then we kind of reevaluate. So you can see if you're interested, if you have questions, if you want to schedule a consult even, just call us or email us, and we'll get you set up. Okay, so for our demo today, I am going to be marking out the thighs, and then I am going to be injecting the thighs for cellulite and crepey skin. So like I said, most patients are coming to me for both. So I want this to be real world for you guys. I want it to apply to as many people as possible. So most people have crepey skin. Most people are bothered by their cellulite, but it's rarely one versus the other. So we're going to treat both today by injecting Sculptra into the area above the knees. So I'm going to pause it right now and stay tuned for our live demonstration.
Okay, guys. Hello, this is our beautiful model this morning. And can you talk a little bit about what bothers you and how you feel about it? And
I'm pretty athletic, and the fact that my legs look like this over here bothers me so much. I don't feel like they should look like this with the amount of exercise that I do. And I won't wear shorts. I will only wear leggings or jeans, and
even sometimes we feel like it shows through the leggings.
it does. I can't wear white jeans because they show dimples. So yeah.
And this is why this is such a gratifying treatment to do, because I felt this way too, so I can directly relate. I just felt so self-conscious about it. So this is something that's going to give really long-lasting results and improve our confidence. Okay, so what we want to do is mark out the areas first. So I am going to go, I'm seeing this here. I'm seeing this here. So today, we're going to do a series of treatments, but today we're going to cover this area. So when I inject, I'm going to do these little injection points. And then we're going to go, for instance, in this area, in this area, in this area. We're going to cover all of the surface areas. Like that. Like that. So when I do some product here, I'm going to lift, and when I do product here, I'm going to expand this way, and then we're going to do some to lift, and then the collagen also is just going to smooth it out, so the skin's going to look a lot smoother and tighter. Okay, great. So let's do the other side. Turn from here. Thank you. And everyone is asymmetrical as well. Like, there's always one side that is, a little bit more severe or a little bit more mild. And tend to be very asymmetrical from side to side. Turn towards me. Great. So what we're gonna do, and then sometimes I'm also evaluating, not for her, but if there's like a fat pocket here, we can discuss about treating that with cool sculpting, and that gets rid of the fat pockets, and those tend to be genetic. So that's something that a lot of people are bothered by because they've been living with it their whole lives, and no matter how much exercise they do, it just doesn't go away. Okay, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. I need another marker, 1 second. Okay. So this, this. So that lets us go here, here. And we'll do this. We'll go here. Okay, perfect. Okay, great. Now we'll have you lay down. Alright, come in here. There. Okay, so the next step is we're gonna make her as comfortable as possible. So we do not want our patients feeling any discomfort or the least amount of discomfort possible. Now, usually our athletic patients have a very high pain tolerance, but doesn't matter. I'm still going to inject a little lidocaine, and we talked about this. So here we go. This is lidocaine going in. Pinch. Great job. How was that? Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How are you feeling about this? Are you excited?
I'm
nervous?
so excited, I cannot even tell you.
Oh my gosh.
This is my dream.
Well, we had talked about this multiple times,
Yes.
and I really wanted to make it happen. I'm like, so sorry.
No, that didn't hurt.
Let's find a way to make this happen. So I'm so excited we could do this.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay. And then picture. I need another 3 cc's. And pinch. Great job. Okay, so how did that feel? Did that feel okay?
I heard about that.
Okay, good. And then so looks like a lot of injections, but it really makes the whole procedure really easy. And it's not much, right? It's
No.
just like a little tiny sting for 1 second. And I'll take a little more hip cleanses. All right, now I'll do this guy over here. So this will diffuse throughout the area, and that way she'll get less bruising, and we will have no issues during the treatment. She'll be very comfortable during the treatment. Okay. And pinch. And so a lot of times, we didn't have a chance this morning, but a lot of times I'll do this and then just let it sit for a little bit so the numbing will diffuse throughout the area. Thank you. Okay, so we'll just do this side on camera, and then I'll do the other side off. So, great. So my opinion is you can never be too clean. So she has been prepped, but we're gonna clean again just because why not? Better safe than sorry. Okay. That should be enough. And then I'll take the pilot to the light. we'll start over here. Okay, here we go, little pinch. So we use this light to avoid bruising. How's that? Are you okay?
Mhm.
Okay. Did you feel anything or?
No.
No, okay. Totally numb. So that's the advantage to doing those lidocaine injections. Okay, now I'm using this thing, gauze please, called a cannula. That means we've got a blunt end. There's less chance of bruising and less chance of injecting into a blood vessel. So it can feel a little weird because of the blunt end. I push it a little more than a needle, but it's a really nice way to inject because way less bruising. How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Do you feel anything?
Not really. A little bit.
A little bit, but not too bad.
No. Totally tolerable.
A really cool thing about Sculptra is it has lidocaine in it, so the more injections we do actually, the easier it gets for patients. It's kind of counterintuitive, but usually the first few injections are the hardest. Okay, that was the first injection. Not bad?
Mm-mm.
Okay, awesome. Alcohol. Okay, so this is kind of what I do, and I just keep working on the area, injecting more product. For the Sculptra, it will look better immediately because there's a lot of fluid in the area. So that gives a little preview as to how it will look when everything is kicked in. But you really start seeing those awesome results in 3 months, and they peak 6 months after the final injection. Okay, how you doing there? Awesome. Okay, so basically, we're gonna keep going. Are there any questions or, please? Anybody have any questions? Tilt your leg kind of in. Thank you.
Do you recommend one of these treatments over the other for a particular age group?
Well, a lot of times the older someone is, the more we have to address the crepey skin or any skin sagging in general. And like I said, most people have some of each. So if someone is older, a lot of times I will recommend the Sculptra or the Radius. And so that is kind of
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Yes. And I think too, you're just nervous in the beginning because all right, so you guys, I can't tell you enough like how much this has done for my confidence and my the patients I've treated, their confidence, and it's just such a wonderful thing you can do for yourself if you have an area of your body that bothers you, if you're bothered by your cellulite. So I really highly encourage you to consider it if you have an area that bothers you. It at least for me, it's just made such a difference. And you guys are worth it. So anyway, please let us know if you have any questions, concerns, want to come in for a consult. I'd love to talk to you about your cellulite or crepey skin. Thank you for tuning in.